How's it going, everyone? I'm Johnny Beard, and welcome to episode 3 of Streamer Stories podcast with me, Johnny Beard, the podcast where we talk to fellow streamers about their experiences throughout their lives with video games and ultimately why they stream. So our third guest in our third episode of Streamer Stories podcast is Beelzebull 29, aka Charlie, and here he is.
Hello.
There he is. He's the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Oh God, yes.
Oh
yes,
God, yes. How are you, dude? You doing good?
I'm good. I'm fantastic. Yeah, I'm really good.
Are you ready to rock and roll?
Good. Yes, let's do it. Let's go.
Are you ready to talk about games?
Yes, I'm ready to talk about games.
This.
No dancing today. Just games. That's all we're doing.
We're serious. We're serious gamers. We don't dance.
No, I don't actually play games. I just dance.
You do. I do wonder what your dance to gaming ratio is actually on stream.
Oh my God, it's probably really bad.
Well, it's all good. It's all good. So this is Beelzebull 29. He is a. Well, do you want to introduce yourself? Why should I introduce you? You introduce yourself.
I mean, it's entirely up. I mean, you're quite good at it. Did you want to do the impression?
Yeah. Oh man, how's it going, guys? I'm Beelzebull. I'm a horror streamer.
There we go. Essentially, yeah. My name is Beelzebull. I like to say I'm a horror streamer, but it's all about positive vibes, really. We like to have a laugh and a dance, and it's not just about horror games. It's about trying to build a community of very happy, positive people, and just to keep the vibe nice. Really, that's all it's all about. That's all it's ever been about. Just to have some fun. That's all I want to do.
100%.
Yeah, and that, I mean, if you've ever been around my streams, that's what it's all about.
Damn right. Immediately right now, guys, give this absolute legend a follow. He's amazing. But yeah, we're gonna go straight in there right at the beginning. So can you tell us then what was your first memory of playing a video game?
My first memory of a video game is probably Streets of Rage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What a banger to start with.
Yeah, we didn't growing up. We didn't have like I'm gonna go straight out there now and say that I didn't have much of a Nintendo sort of influence in my life growing up. It was always Sega. Sega was the way forward, especially growing up as like a young kid. My dad gave me his Sega Genesis, and that was it. I remember I had Sonic, Streets of Rage, but Streets of Rage I like the most. It's something about it, that sort of edgy, violent game I just really gravitated towards, and I think that was the game that really got me into like video games itself. And then obviously Sonic was a big part as well, because Sonic was always there. Plus I like the music in Sonic. I've danced around, and then obviously there's a big influence of football in my family, so FIFA was a big one. Playing all the FIFA growing up, we had them all. So, and I remember as a kid, I would score a goal and I'd run around the whole house celebrating like I literally had just scored a goal in the cup final of the World Cup or something. But yeah, that was growing up. It was mainly Sega, and then whenever I went around friends' houses, it was I did have a go on the Nintendo and Street Fighter, for example. Played a lot of Street Fighter as well.
Fantastic.
It was a weird education. Some people might find it strange that obviously that I wasn't really gravitated like towards Nintendo and Mario.
No,
and
same.
That type. Yeah, I mean, obviously I had a Game Boy, but I played Donkey Kong, and I got it in Gran Canaria, and I played Donkey Kong for ages, and then I think that was it. That was as far. And Pokemon. I literally was obsessed with Pokemon. I mean, like, we all was. Do you know what I mean? We was all obsessed with Pokemon, and I had the Pokemon, and that was it really on Game Boy. Like, I didn't really do much other than that. So
nice.
But yeah, that was it. That was it really growing up.
Brilliant. So you mentioned Sega Genesis, I noticed, then, instead of Mega Drive.
It was the Genesis.
Did you have an actual Genesis?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Wow.
And then I had the Mega Drive, and then we had the Mega Drive after. I know my dad was obsessed with, like, he would get the newest stuff. Like, it was like but it would be for him,
Right,
and then I would get my hands on it a lot later down the line. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So he would buy the new stuff, and it was like, Dad, you got this, and I was like, oh my God. It was like, yeah, watch me play it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then then a couple of years down the line, when the new stuff comes out, it's like, here, oh, by the way, son, here you go, here's this. So I got like the PlayStation 1 hand me down,
Yeah.
got the PlayStation 2. It was one of those ones. I must say, growing up, I was blessed in that sense that my parents, or my dad, was very big on games. So yeah, I was quite lucky because my family are not very, apart from me and a couple others, they're not really big gamers, if that
No.
makes sense. So nah, they're all just like going out and running and stuff, and I'm like, well, what's that? Who does that? Who does that? What's the matter with you?
No.
Jogging? What the hell is jogging?
Yeah.
Jesus. But yeah, so yeah, Sega Genesis was a massive part of my life, and then obviously I did have a Mega Drive as well. So it was always Sega. Like it was always Sega. No matter what. Like I say, I didn't have a Nintendo ever. I've never had a Nintendo apart from a Game Boy in my life. Apart from the Switch, which I've bought recently,
Yeah.
which I'm not even that mad on, to be honest. But I think that has something to do with it. But well, yeah, that's a completely different other subject. But
Yeah.
yeah, but something I wish I could got into, but I didn't.
Yeah. So with Streets of Rage, then, did you play that one player or two player?
I played it one player because my brother was never into games.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
always just me. I tried to get him involved, but he was never on it. So it was just always one player. It was always me. I always played on my own. That's why I always play games on my own on my stream, because I'm a lonely gamer, if that makes sense.
You're a
I'm
lonely
just so used
gamer.
to, yeah. So when I play with people, it's like it's the best thing ever.
Yeah,
Hence
yeah.
why it's because I've always played on my own. It's just I'm just used to playing campaigns on my own, and that's just the way it's been for some reason. So
you played Streets of Rage 1 and 2 and 3? Or...
yeah, all of them. Played all of them. What else did I play growing up? I'm trying to think now. Jungle Book. I'm gonna mention the Jungle Book because I'm gonna say this now. Jungle Book on Sega made me cry.
Oh, right, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I only got to the first or second level and I couldn't do it. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I'm not gonna stress myself out anymore with this stupid Disney game. I'm gonna leave it. And I left it and I never touched it since. And I really want to go back and play that game
Yeah,
somewhere along the line. I want to do that because I remember it really making me cry, and I was just like, I can't beat this game, and I don't know why I can't beat it. Because why can't I do Sonic and completely get like literally smashed that game and loved it every minute of it, and Streets of Rage and other games as well, but this game, which is essentially just a movie game, and I can't touch it. Like what the hell?
Yeah,
So,
I always thought you meant cries in the story, but no, you mean difficulty.
I'm in a difficulty.
Rock
I mean,
solid.
I couldn't play it. I couldn't physically play it. I don't know what was wrong with me. Maybe I was too young. I just didn't understand what to do. But it hasn't. Yeah, it was one of those games, and I hate it.
Yeah, you got to beat your demons, dude. You got to go back to that. I think.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. 100%. I must do.
So Streets of Rage 1, 2, 3. So Sonic's, and so you're a big Sonic fan. So what was your
Massive
favorite Sonic
fan.
on the Mega Drive / Genesis?
Oh, the original Sonic one would be
Sonic 1.
the one that really had a big influence in my life. I mean, Sonic 2 was good. I enjoyed Sonic 2, and obviously I delved into a lot of Sonic games growing up as well. But I think I left it there, if that makes sense. Like I never really went back. My son, it's funny because my oldest son is obsessed with Sonic, and he has the original game on his iPad, and he plays it all the time, and he's so good at it. But he's only 4 years old.
Oh,
And I'm thinking to myself, wow, like he's into those sort of like old arcade games, and he's only 4, nearly 5. So it's nice to see my son coming up playing the right games. You know?
yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
That
good.
is. Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
I would like to talk to you more about, because we've both got kids. I'd love to
yeah.
talk about kids and gaming with you later on. Actually,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Let's do that. Yeah. 100%.
Actually, I need to make a mental note here. I think mental note. I'm writing it down on my sheet.
Do it. Do it.
But no, because that's something that's different about yourself. Because well, we'll talk about it later on. But
Yeah.
but yeah. So you mentioned the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. So then you talking about being a Sega person? Did you go to the Saturn or did you go straight to PlayStation 1?
It was straight to PlayStation 1. So my dad bought PlayStation 1, and he literally, because obviously there was a lot of at the time there was a lot of is it the word bubble, and everyone was excited about the PlayStation, so we went straight to PlayStation, and that was where my eyes were like, whoa,
Yes.
wow, like
Yes.
everything was like my whole taste of games completely changed. I found myself going more into horror, and at such a young age, I've been obsessed with horror my whole life. I love horror. I love horror films, horror games. Everything about horror is what I'm about. So, like for example, Silent Hill. That game had a big influence on me growing up. Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil. Um, they were just games that really blew my mind. So yeah, and obviously, like I say, but at the same time, FIFA was always there, and it pains me to say that because as like a gamer, it's like you're not really considered a gamer if you play FIFA. And do you know what? I agree. I totally. There's parts of me that agree because
Nah.
obviously, you know the kind of people like
Yeah,
you
I
go,
do.
what
Totally
games
know
do
what
you
you're
play?
talking about.
And they're
Yeah,
like,
but
I
nah.
play Call of Duty and FIFA, dude. Like that's it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you don't actually play games then? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
there's
that
people
sort of
like
like
that, isn't there? Yeah.
yeah. And I would like obviously I haven't played a FIFA game in a long time. But yeah, that football games were always there growing up. So even if it was PlayStation 1, 2, those were the games that I sort of like played as well as other stuff like Duke Nukem as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Was another big influence on me because it's that sci-fi kind of. But my influence, like the games that I used to gravitate towards are like really games that people wouldn't even like Judge Dredd. I don't know if you played Judge Dredd
No,
on
not played that
PlayStation
one.
2.
No.
And Blade 2. Blade 2 on the Xbox I had it. The original Xbox. Loved it. Those are the games that I really and Buffy. I played Buffy as well.
Oh goodness, yeah.
Yeah,
Never
so it's
played that. I
always
always
stuff.
wanted to. Never did play it.
Yeah, brilliant game. And it's always the games that I sort of like really went like I say gravitated towards it. Though it was that horror sort of style of I was obsessed with vampires, and at the time like Blade was out. It was just like I loved like that sort of stuff. So yeah, PlayStation changed everything for me. I think, yeah, definitely.
Excellent. So, what was the first game you played on the PlayStation then? Was it a Resident Evil Silent Hill game or
It was Wipeout.
Wipeout? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Wipeout. It was definitely Wipeout. It was the game we got with it. So I mean, it might be called Wipeout Fusion. That might be a new one. I'm not sure, but it was Wipeout again, a Wipeout game for sure. And I remember thinking, wow, this is crazy, but it never kept my attention.
No.
So to say that was definitely the first game I played on PlayStation, but it wasn't the game that I enjoyed the most on PlayStation. No.
No. So, what is your favorite Resident Evil game then? Going straight out there.
That's a difficult question. I'm gonna say the first one.
Yeah.
The first one was my favorite. Yeah.
As in PlayStation 1 first one, not remake.
Yeah. Experiencing that the first time was amazing. So I'm gonna go with that feeling. Obviously, we all know that the newer ones are amazing. But yeah, that feeling of playing it for the first time, that's definitely worth more to me than the other games. So.
And then you mentioned Silent Hill. What's your favorite Silent Hill then?
Ooh, the original Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original Silent Hill.
No, awesome. I mean, and hey, look, dude. We were talking about FIFA and that, on the stereotypical thing about that. I mean, but let's be honest, FIFA, some brilliant FIFA games out there. And personally speaking, one of my favorite things about FIFA is the soundtracks. Do you have a favorite soundtrack on FIFA?
Yeah. Oh, 2004 probably.
Yes. Great
2004 was probably the one I remember the most, so I'm gonna go with that.
Oh.
I'm gonna roll with that 100%. I mean, what can I say? That to be fair, there's been a few others as well. Actually, the World Cup games had a good soundtrack.
Yeah. What one did you play then? What was your World Cup go to?
The 06. I think it was 06 maybe. I remember. Yeah, if that's right. Don't quote me on that, but I think remember the 06. It might have been the World Cup or Euros. I'm pretty sure it was a World Cup actually. Yeah. And I remember because the Black Eyed Peas, they brought out a song, didn't they, with the World Cup? Yeah, Mascunada or something like that. I remember that. I just remember the song. Was it in Brazil?
Oh man, it might have been.
I don't know.
Yes, I think it was in 06. I think it was in Brazil.
Must have been.
I remember 02 was in it was in Japan and South Korea, wasn't it? So I think it was 06 in Brazil.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
So I mean, you've already answered the question. So you've mostly played games on your own. You've not really been playing it with your.
Yeah.
Did you ever play with your dad?
Not kind of like he wasn't really he was into games, but he never really played like much adventure games. I remember him playing Lara Croft
Mm.
or Tomb Raider on the PlayStation 1. But it's a weird one. Like he sort of got me into games, but he never was really a big gamer. He would just play FIFA all the time. He'd be happy just sitting there, and he still does to this day. He has a PlayStation 4 and he just sits there playing FIFA and he loves it.
Yeah.
And I can respect that because he always plays the same kind of games. But he plays a bit of GTA apparently. He tells
Yeah.
me and stuff. So yeah, but no, I didn't really play with my dad so much.
No.
I think that's probably part of the reason why I am such a bit of a loner gamer, if that makes sense. Because like just not used to playing with other people that much.
Mm.
So strange.
Did
Strange.
you ever? So I mean, we're going to fast forwarding a bit now, I suppose. But in terms of like online playing, did you play much games online with other people, or was it always kind of solo campaigns?
No, yeah. So like I've gone through phases in my life, I'd say, where like I've had periods where I'll be playing a lot of Call of Duty, for example, and I played for years. I played years of Call of Duty, Black Ops, and Black Ops 2. I was obsessed. I was probably I must have been about 17, 18 maybe at the time, and it was just like it took over my life.
Yeah, yeah. They do, don't they? That's the thing.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and the same thing happened with Modern Warfare, the new one. And I had to really distance myself from Call of Duty games to start enjoying games again, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you'll find yourself you lose patience with playing other games because you're too busy thinking about how easy it is to go into a quick match or like a domination team deathmatch and play them games. And then you think to yourself, like, I'm so bored of playing this campaign. And I realized that when I stopped playing Call of Duty games, I enjoyed games a lot more again. Like games become more interesting to me again. And I really feel like, and this is just my opinion, that Call of Duty games suck the life out of video games. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
They're great games. They're great games. Don't get me wrong. They're amazing games. They're well made. But they're just not imaginative to me. They're not like, and I like the stories, like you come away from a game and you go, that was like playing a movie, and
definitely.
when you get stuck in the world of playing competitive gaming, you really lose touch with reality, I say. That's my opinion. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah,
But,
no, it's
but
good. It's a good opinion.
yeah.
So do you have like a favorite video game story from growing up? It's like a story.
I'm trying to think now. God, that's the question. I'm not quite sure.
So it can be, I don't know, it can be about you playing a particular game. Like, okay, is there like maybe let's put a spin on it. So, is there a certain game that you remember beating, and like the memory that came with that finishing that game?
Gears of War.
Yeah. Oh, right, yeah.
Gears of War. I played that with my friend Paul. One of my best friends, Paul, and he came around mine, and it was the first time that I really played a not multiplayer, but you could do the campaign with two of you.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time I really done that, and it was almost like we were in the game. Like we stayed up all night to beat the game, and that feeling of once we done it was mind blowing. Literally blew my mind. There was no feeling like it, and we both were like looking at each other like, what the hell, like, dude, we just experienced some like crazy stuff there. But yeah, I'd say that, yeah, Gears of War and that moment of beating it with Paul and spending the whole night playing it probably would be my favorite moment.
No, you can't beat it. You can't beat that feeling.
I mean, I've had loads of moments in gaming. There's so many different moments. It's hard to remember all. I've played so many different games.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, if you had to choose your favorite video game of all time, what would it be, and why?
God, that's the question. How dare you, Johnny Beard?
One game.
Jesus. I'm gonna say. Oh God. I'm gonna say. Oh God, this is a question. I'm gonna say Blade 2.
Really?
I'm gonna say Blade 2. Yeah, because I always say. See, the thing is, I always say Silent Hill because that game had a big. It was an amazing game, and I loved every minute of it. But I'm my personal preference is a bit of shooting
Mm.
and a bit of something to it. Whereas Silent Hill, you do have that, but it's like, it's slightly different.
Yeah.
I like a bit of action. And Blade 2 for me was just, it was everything in a video game. And not many people would be like, what the hell is he talking about? Blade 2? Like,
Mm.
just if you get a chance, if you're a big Blade fan, you'll love that game.
Mm.
It's just amazing. I wish it
Controversial
got more.
opinion. I'm not a
Yeah,
big fan of Blade 2.
you
The
know,
movie. I like the first and the
I
third ones, but not the second
oh
film.
my god, the second film is my favorite. Well, no, the first film was amazing, but the second film just took it to a whole new level. But yeah, everyone's got their different opinions, don't they? Do you know what I mean? You can't,
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
So what are you playing right now? What games are you playing at the moment?
Um, what am I playing at the moment?
It can
Oh
be
god, I've
offline
got,
or online. It can be either or.
yeah. Well, I've got. I'm currently nearly finishing Alien Isolation. I've already done Alien Isolation, by the way. This is the second playthrough of it for me. I played it on Xbox a long, long time ago. But yeah, I'm playing through it again. But we've been streaming it for a while, but yeah, hopefully, we're finishing soon. What is he doing in the background? But yeah, Alien Isolation. I'm playing. I've got a load of indie horror games lined up as well that I'm going to be playing as well. But I don't know, it's hard. I'm playing Back for Blood at the moment. I played that yesterday and
Oh,
I
still
really
haven't played
enjoyed
it yet.
that. Yeah, honestly, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Just trying to think now what games I've been playing. It's so hard, isn't it? It's so hard. Hold on.
I mean, that is a question though. So do you play mini games offline, off stream, or do you play mostly
No,
on
no, I
stream?
don't. No, I don't. Every game I play, um, every game I play is on stream. I don't play games offline
No.
because because of this guy. Because of the kids
Oh
and
yeah.
family. So I don't really get much time to play games offline. Which is not a problem because
No.
it means that me playing on stream is me actually genuinely enjoying that moment and that time, and I've played that bit on everything is like live essentially, like it's me just enjoying the game as it is.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
100%.
whilst we got your little dude in the background there,
Yes.
let's have that chat now about kids, because that is one of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fundamentally one of my favorite things about watching your
yeah.
streams, Beelzy, is the fact that you incorporate your family into your streams. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
it's
yeah,
very unique. And I
yeah,
love
yeah,
that
yeah.
about you. Tell us about that, because it's beautiful chaos, if I must say, in my opinion. I love
Yeah.
it. I absolutely love it.
It is it, but at the same time, it's a nightmare. What? Yeah, it is. It's hard because like you as you know yourself, like I have to do it. I don't do it in front of the kids so much because I do it quite late.
Yeah,
But when I have to stream during the, or if I ever stream during the day, they're very much involved in because they're interested and stuff. They're
yeah.
intrigued. So
Of course they are.
yeah. So um, oh my god, is he? But yeah, it's fun. It's nice, and at the same time, it's very stressful.
Absolutely, no, it's awesome though. So I mean,
Yeah.
because obviously one of your big streams recently was when you did your charity stream,
Oh god,
and obviously
yeah.
that was in the day, wasn't it? And you had your kids.
Yeah.
That was amazing. What you did there.
Oh my god.
So talk us
That
through that, if you
was
don't mind, about your charity stream and
yeah. It was I was nervous about the whole situation. It was the first time I'd ever done anything like that because obviously I've been streaming for like what 5 months now, I think 5 6 months. So I'm relatively new. So I didn't know what to expect. Obviously I spoke to yourself about it, didn't I, about the whole situation, and um it was more nerves than anything. I was trying to think about what I want to do, like what ideas can I bring forward. Um, but yeah, it was probably the best experience I've had. So good, so
yeah.
good. Some amazing moments as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, yeah, we haven't talked about that. So what were so you've been streaming for 5 months. So
Yeah.
what got you into streaming? What made you think about streaming?
So coming away from Call of Duty, I was playing a lot of horror games. Just a lot of indie horror games on my PlayStation 4. And I just thought to myself that I could probably stream this. Because my intention to start streaming was to be an indie horror content creator. So, you know, I see a lot of hype about the big games, you know, Resident Evil and Evil Within and things like that, but no one's playing these off the wall indie horror games, you know. So I thought to myself, that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I started out doing. I solely started out playing indie horror games, games that no one's heard of really. But yeah, and I sort of like pushed it from there. I sort of like, you know, tried to see where I could go with it. I mean, I don't know if you've probably never seen any of my first streams.
No, I haven't. No.
No. Hold on. Days, can you come and get Louis, please? God's sake.
You're fine, don't worry.
You know what I mean? I know. I'm
Don't
trying
you
to
worry.
like, come on, mate. You might have to edit this bit out.
It's up to you. I can edit it out or keep it in, whatever you prefer.
Yeah. So yeah, so starting out, it was all about indie horror games for me, and that's literally where I've sort of like taken my channel. But obviously, I've done a lot of other stuff since. I'm just trying to broaden my horizon and see what I don't know what you know. It's still early days, I think.
Yeah.
In my Twitch journey, I feel like.
So
yeah, go on.
It wasn't like a pandemic thing. It was just a
No.
light bulb moment.
So I did. Yeah, it was. I may have started during the pandemic, but it wasn't like, oh, I had no idea that people were using the pandemic as a way to start streaming.
Yeah.
I was a bit late to the party. I'm late to everything. So I was late to the I was late to the whole situation of because I know that a lot of streamers got big over the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I was like at the end of it, if that makes sense. Like I started at the end of the pandemic, and we all started coming back when I started streaming. So I've not had that. I'm not gonna say easy. I've not had it easy, but
No.
because a lot of streamers have grown big through the pandemic, and they've lost, and it's dipped and stuff.
Yes.
So I never got that whole situation. I missed it, which is not a bad thing, because it starting off was hard work, you know. And I'm not gonna, as everyone knows, streaming and the Twitch stuff, it's mentally draining as well as physically, because the amount of overthinking you can do building yourself up, especially when you first start out. You know, there was a good month or 2 months where I had no one watching me, dude. I had one person, and that was my little brother, and I was still carried on streaming.
Yes.
Even though, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't think anything would come of this. When I started out, I did it purely because I played video games at night, and it just, why not stream it? That's why I did it. And then obviously the more I grew, the more people I met, the more it sort of like kicked off. There were certain games that I played that really helped as well. But yeah, I had no business, dude. Like literally, in my mind, I had no idea that it would get to where it is today, and I'd even accomplished half of what I've accomplished so far. And as a streamer, I have a lot of, you know, I don't want to. It's weird because I've just sort of like, as a person, I set myself like goals, or set myself, not goals, but I like to do things the best I can in a work sense, if that makes sense. Like so if I don't want to give up on the channel, so that's why I'm just going to try and push it. Like, you know, there's always something new.
Yeah.
Like if it's emotes or different things on my stream or something, I will try and always make sure that I'm always one step ahead of trying to better myself. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
But because I want to take it seriously. Like I really enjoy it. It's something I want to do full time. And I think I've come to that realization past couple of months, because it was never like that when I first started out. But I still don't want to put that pressure on myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to say right, I'm going to be a full-time content creator or a full-time Twitch streamer, because I feel like as soon as you do that, then the fun possibly goes, you know.
Yeah.
And that's not what I'm about. I'm about fun and having a good time, and if I can continue to do that and grow, then that's the way I want to go.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
I mean, no one knows what the future what can bring. Twitch is one of those things. 1 minute you could have like loads of people in, and the next minute no one's interested. And that's the way of Twitch.
Yes.
That's the way it is. Yeah.
No, it's 100%.
Yeah.
So your username is Beelzebull29. So
Yes.
how did you come up with that name? If you don't mind me asking.
Right. So, story behind that. So basically, my second name is Bull. And my friend for a competition in the cafe at work, one of the competitions was to draw someone who worked there as a horror type person to win a competition. He drew
Right.
me as a devil, and then underneath he called it Beelzebull, and then I
Right.
took it, roll with it.
Damn
And
right.
I thought that, and then the rest sort of like came in, like the whole fire on my stream and all that it sort of like came in with it. But yeah, it's changed a lot, and I've obviously like a revamp and stuff. But yeah, I do miss that logo. But yeah, it's essentially the logo I had for a long time was literally the drawing itself.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just used that. I asked him to add. I had a beard at the time, so I asked him to add a beard, and that was that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So do
No.
you remember what was the first game you ever streamed, and what was your first stream like?
I'm gonna say my first decent stream, because obviously my first stream I played was probably an indie horror game that no one knew about, and it was just me playing to no one. But my first decent stream was Little Nightmares.
Okay, yeah.
I played Little Nightmares, and I was getting a few regulars coming in, and it was different. It was like I was talking to people, and it was where I started learning how to really communicate with chat and that side of it, because no one tells you that you can end up talking to a load of different people at the same time.
Yeah, of course.
It's all right. It's all well and good playing a game, but I don't know if you've ever come across like when you first start out, you're silent. What do you
Yeah.
say to these people? How do I communicate? They don't even know me. I don't know them.
Yeah, of course.
So you have that worry, don't you? You have that sort of like, oh god, am I going to say the wrong thing? That stream for me really got that sort of that flow going. I was able to talk to people and keep their interest, and they would stay for the whole stream.
Yeah.
So that little nightmares changed it for me, really.
Excellent.
So I'd say, yeah, that was definitely definitely.
So if you had a favorite, like, do you have like a favorite stream memory, or do you have favorite moments throughout your journey so far? What?
Yeah, so obviously the charity stream would be up there. That was madness. That was crazy for me. And ever since then, it's been mad. Like, I don't want to go too much into like numbers and stuff, because it's not about the numbers. But for me personally, as a channel, I've gone up a step. Because obviously in my mind I see there's steps I have in my mind where like I want to be, and it's put me on that step. And I'm just sort of now, finding my craft, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that stream and every stream since, I think I'm just enjoying every streams. Every stream I do lately has been, it's either really really mad and like lots going on and it's crazy, or it's chill, but then it goes from really chill to madness.
Yeah.
But that's what I want it to be. That's what I want my channel to be. Otherwise, it's just boring. It's just me playing a game, and
Yeah, of course.
and there's nothing wrong with that. But because everyone has their own thing, but I think that's my niche. That's my thing. I'm a fucking absolute nutter,
Yeah.
and I'm just bringing it across to you.
Yeah.
This is me being me, and having a
100%.
good old time, and that's exactly what. But that's my favorite memory, probably the charity stream and everything on there onwards. I mean, the memories before that was fantastic. Like
Yeah.
even the growing as a channel,
Yeah,
that
The grind.
first time when you have 10 people in your stream and you're like, what the hell is going on?
Mm.
And then you hit 20 people and you're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you hit 30 people and you're like, okay, I'm doing something right here. What the hell is going on? And it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, that transition, the growth, just watching it happen in front of your eyes is blows your mind, dude. It's just,
Totally.
and then you felt it yourself, or when you get a big raid, for example, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Even those are just mental. I remember the first raid I got, which was a big one, and it just, I didn't know what to say. I was
Yeah.
like, breathe, breathe. You got this. You got this.
All right.
Yeah, that was a big memory as well. Like, first big raid.
Yeah. So I mean, you mentioned the nutter, the craziness,
Yeah.
the anarchy. I mean, I love it, and that is one of the things I think people love about watching a Beelzebull stream is that
Yeah.
that it's such a big part of your channel and what you bring to the table is that you got the chill vibes, and then you got the chaos, and it infuses together, and it's just magic. It's just absolute beauty. I mean, we've got to talk about Cuban Pete. We've got to talk about Cuban Pete.
I don't know.
I don't know if I saw the birth of Cuban Pete. I've seen what's happened since.
Oh, that was a. These things keep happening. Like something will happen in one of my streams, and then we roll with it. Like the first one was Grease Lightning. I remember I watched Grease Lightning, and then I started singing it on stream, and then it just took off. And then every time it was like sing a song for me or sing Grease, and I sort of like did that, and then it would evolve into the next thing and the next thing, and then we finally got to Cuban Pete, and I remember. I don't know how it happened. I still don't know how it happened. But I put Cuban Pete as a sound alert, and I just literally, and it was live on stream. I said, right, someone mentioned Cuban Pete. I said, right, so let's put that in there. And I literally started dancing.
Yeah.
And I started dancing to Cuban Pete, but without anything. So it was literally just me
dancing to
doing
Cuban Pete.
doing like salsa dancing and stuff to Cuban Pete. And then it sort of accelerated from there to like to now, which is like where I wear a full mask, I have the maracas, and I actually dance around like a nutcase. But there will it last forever? I don't know.
No.
There'll be another thing that will come along that I'll do, that will change it. I'm trying to change it up. I try and do as much different stuff as possible, if you know what I mean. So
no, definitely.
But it's definitely a highlight of my channel that that I personally enjoyed. You know what I mean? That's I like having a fun time, and that's definitely the one thing that makes it a laugh. I mean, it's crazy.
So you mentioned you put the Cuban Pete channel points thing. And you had Greece as well. Has there been any other channel points things you did in the past that were fun?
Yeah, the Freddy stuff. The Freddy Krueger mask is always fun, and so is the Michael Myers mask. I've got a Hellraiser mask coming as well, which is going to be but I'm going to keep doing that. That's going to be a common theme on my channel. I want to keep adding to that collection. Maybe take a few out, bring a few new ones in, and then swap them around and stuff. But I just feel like that's something that I've always done, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I've just always done that sort of stuff. So that will keep happening. I'm afraid. So if people don't like it, I don't know what to say to you.
No,
it's just something I like doing.
But no, it's like you said, it's a fundamental part of why people are attracted to your channel. So So if, going back to games, then actually I forgot to ask you this one. So if you're stuck on a remote island, and you could only bring 3 games with you, what would they be?
3 games.
Because obviously you're stuck on it forever, right? So it doesn't have to be your favorite game. It can be, but it doesn't have to be your favorite game.
3 games. Okay. So I'm gonna say Silent Hill, because it's just that will be enjoyable for me. I'm also gonna say, oh god, this is really difficult. What can I say? Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
I don't know if I said that right. Yeah, I really enjoyed that game. I absolutely loved it. It's one of those games that I will never play it on stream. It's not the kind of game that I'd play on stream, but it's the kind of game that I enjoyed off stream.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna say Alien Isolation, because I've grown to love and hate that game, but the love overtakes the hate, and it's a game that I would like to keep playing and get better at. So I'm gonna say them 3.
They've just announced another Alien game, I think, haven't they? Like a multiplayer game.
Yeah, it's coming out this month. That's another game that I'll be featuring heavily on my channel.
Excellent. Well, you know what to do,
Same as
guys.
Back for Blood. Yeah. Because we could do this. We could do that on a Sunday. So it's always That's where I'm definitely gonna be playing that. I can't wait.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's so going back to kids then as well.
Yeah.
So you mentioned your dad kind of gave you
Yeah.
like the handover consoles when he was playing like the newer stuff. Something that
Yeah.
I've kind of done as well. It's quite interesting that you mentioned that. I mean, is that
Yeah.
something that you're thinking of doing with your kids? Because I know they're obviously a bit young right now, but they're still playing games. You mentioned Sonic.
So yes, my oldest Jacob is obsessed with video games. He's currently playing Spider-Man Miles Morales. I mean, he's
Right.
nearly 5 years old, and he loves it. He plays all the Lego games as well. So he's into all types of games. So and he still plays the Sonic games every now and again as well. So yeah, he loves it. He absolutely loves it. So but yeah, like I say, at the moment he's playing Spider-Man, and he's probably annoyed at me because I'm on here.
Can't play Spider-Man yet.
Yeah.
Oh, bless.
But yeah, that was something I wanted to do, was get my kids into games.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to play games with them when they're older, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Definitely.
definitely. I mean, I'm 30 this year, so I'm 30 in like 2 months. So going into my 30s, I want to, like, as they get older, I want to be able to still be that cool dad that plays video games.
Damn right. Damn right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, again, my oldest is near 13, and I've tried getting him to my games. They're not interested in my games. I'm starting to discover that. I mean, you can do so much, but in the end,
they're gonna like what they like, and that's that, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. To be fair, I expect Jacob to be the same.
Yeah, it was my oldest. Her name was Vivi. She's changed her name, but she was Vivi, which is a character from Final Fantasy IX. I always had this moment where I wanted to play Final Fantasy IX with her, because that was the name of the game. That was a name from a game I played that made me name her, and that's not happened. It's not happened. But yeah, you know, but the fact that your son's playing Sonic is a good start. Hopefully it continues. Yeah, but my boys kind of like Sonic, but they find it hard. And again, games nowadays are not as hard as they used to be, I don't think.
No, and that's why I wanted to start Jacob off with games that are a lot more difficult, because then going forward for him to go into other games like Spider-Man, he picks it up so quickly. But even working things out for him is a lot more easier. And like, for example, people will say, "Oh, that is so bad. That's so bad." If he asks me for help, I say no, I won't help him. Because I want him to learn. Because he's not going to learn if I keep doing it for him.
Yeah.
So like, if he gets stuck on a part of the game, especially with Spider-Man, I will leave him, and then he will come back to me half an hour later, and he will go, "Daddy, I've done it." And I said, "I told you so."
Yeah.
You know, you don't need my help. You can do this. Just work it out. You know, you've played these games so many times. Just keep doing what you're doing and have fun. And he does. And he absolutely, and the feeling I get when he beats a part of a game, is untouchable.
Absolutely,
it's brilliant.
Well, it's great. No. So you mentioned your favorite games were Resident Evil 1 and Silent Hill 1 in terms of your favorites from those games. Have you got any particular memories from Resident Evil 1 that come back in terms of being like, what's the scariest moment in Resident Evil 1 for you back in?
It's weird because when I played Resident Evil 1, I played it around a friend's house because at the time my mum wouldn't let me have it. Because obviously she heard a lot about it. So we had like a sleepover, and the first time I played it was around there, and just the actual. I think I remember going down the alleyway. I was watching him play it, and he was going down the alleyway, and then I think a zombie or something comes out and attacks. I can't remember. It's a long time ago, and that scared the actual watching somebody else play it, and then he let me play it, and I remember thinking like, oh my god, I'm gonna die so many times. But he just scared the life out of me. But at the same time, fascinated me because it satisfied my urge for horror games. You know, it was like, oh my god, this is the game. I got it a couple of months after playing it around my friends, I did the old like, Mum, but it's not that bad, Mum, trust me. And I always played it when she was never around. And I always played it at my dad's, for example, because he would never have a problem with me playing it. But yeah, 100%. That just watched it for the first time.
Yeah.
Scared the life out of me.
And Silent Hill 1 is very different to Resident Evil 1, isn't it? So you got to think of a scary moment from that. I mean,
just the bit that scared me the most, it was just walking around in the fog and the footprints.
Yeah.
Just hearing them sort of footprints. I remember thinking like, this is just too much, mate. Like, I don't know where anything is. I can't see anything.
Yeah.
And I remember just thinking like, I'm lost. I'm bloody lost. But when you find your way, it's so good. It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant game.
So we can't really talk about Beelzebull without talking about movies. So what were your thoughts on the Silent Hill movie? And the Resident Evil movies, for that matter, actually.
Loved it.
You loved them all?
It. I loved Silent Hill. The first one was fantastic. I mean, people will hate on it because it's not exactly to the script and it's slightly different to the game and stuff. But I love it. I love it because it's a good film.
Yeah.
And it was everything I wanted it from a Silent Hill game. Silent Hill movie, sorry. Resident Evil, the first one was amazing. Second one was great. I like them all because I love action in a horror film. Don't get me wrong, I do love the old horror films where it's just pure horror and stuff. But when it comes to like an action horror film, like Underworld, for example, Blade, Resident Evil, I love them. And I don't think they could be really bad, and I'd still love them.
Yeah,
and that's just the way it is. And and don't get me wrong, I'll happily say that any of the last Resident Evil films were bad, but at the same time, because they are Resident Evil, I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, are you looking forward to the making a new film as well, aren't they? And a new TV show.
Yeah, they are.
You can be all over that.
All over that. Yeah. Is it the Army of the Dead? That new one that came out? Army of the Dead. I swear it was like on Netflix. You ever seen it?
No, not seen that. No.
You absolutely love that. That's so good. That's the sort of film that I'm talking about. That's I'm all about. Yeah.
Awesome.
And everyone will say, Land of the Dead.
Right.
Everyone's ever seen Land? No one talks about that film, but it's so good. It's so bloody good. But yeah, I could go on about horror films all day.
I know it's going to be that's going to be a separate podcast, I think, isn't it?
Oh my God, yeah, we should start a horror podcast.
Yeah, let's do it. But yeah, you were mentioning Silent Hill 1, the movie. For me, that's personally for me my favorite video game movie. For me, I actually think that Silent Hill 1 as a movie incorporates Silent Hill games almost spot on. I know they changed a few little things, but it's the music's spot on. There's so much dread. There's obviously parts of the film where copies of the games, like you're running around and all that stuff, and Pyramid Head is terrifying in it.
God, that first time when you see that woman and oh my God.
Oh man, yeah.
You know the bit I'm talking about.
I know what bit you're talking about.
I was like,
it's brilliant.
Hold the phone. I was like, what the hell is going on? I was like, literally, I pooed my pants. I was like, what the fuck happened there? When you just can't understand it in your brain. You're like, oh my God, did I just witness that?
It was grotesque.
Yeah, brilliant.
Amazing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. The only ever time I've ever felt that is when I watched Paranormal Activity at the cinema. And I was like, is this shit real? I was like, oh, what the fuck? I was looking around the cinema like, is this shit real? I'm like, literally, I come out, I had to Google it. And luckily they said it wasn't real. I was thinking, I actually thought that was real the whole way through. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how they've caught this footage, but it's real. But yeah.
What did you think of the second Silent Hill film? I wasn't a fan of that one, unfortunately.
No, they messed that one up. But that's what happens when you change director on a film.
Yeah.
The direction of a film, it goes astray, and they messed it up. They didn't explain enough.
Yeah.
To get, because where they got to, you thought, well, how did they get there then? How did she get out? Nothing makes sense.
No.
Nothing makes sense. But yeah, I didn't like it.
No, I've heard that. Yeah. I think it's Christopher Gans. I think it was that did the first one. I've heard he is thinking of doing another Silent Hill movie, and it will skip over the second movie because he didn't take part in it. So fingers crossed
if they
that
do
this
that,
happen.
then perfect. Yeah, hopefully they do. That'd be incredible if they actually do that. Yeah.
So question I've wanted to ask you actually.
Yeah.
As a horror streamer,
Yeah.
and you love, we clearly obviously know you love horror, and you know, but one thing that is fascinating for me, and I think maybe for others, is the fact that despite your love of horror, you're quite easily jump scared. It's amazing. So
there's a whole big
yeah, try and explain that to reviewers.
so I've got a complex. It's my partner's fault. So I mean, as you know, have you seen as well, Daisy will scare me every now and again.
Yeah.
But that's a regular occurrence in my house. Like she will scare the life out of me, and then because I get scared so much, it's become a thing now.
Oh.
Sometimes I will watch a program and something silly will happen, like, you know, it'll go to an ad break and there'll be a like bang. I'm jumpy all the time.
Yeah.
It helps with the horror channel. It helps with the Twitch. It helps with that sort of stuff. Like, it's entertaining in that sense.
Yeah.
I have become a little bit more better at. There's certain things that doesn't scare me, but there's certain things that will get me every single time. Like the fart will get me every time. If you do the sound alert fart, I'm like, oh Jesus, it just comes out of nowhere. Especially if I'm really involved in a moment. If there's like something going on in a game and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Oh my god, and then a fart comes out of nowhere. That's it, mate.
Yeah.
I'm all over the shop. Yeah.
No, we do love the fart sound alerts on your stream. You've got have you got the one now, or you've had a few, I think, haven't you, in the past?
I've had a few. Yeah, I had a few because at one stage people were having fart offs. So yeah, that happened a lot.
definitely something that I think Twitch should be talking about more, is the fact that we love fart noises as streamers and streamer viewers. It's weird.
Exactly.
We do love a fart noise. So what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about streaming?
Don't do it.
You aren't the first to say that. You aren't the first to say that.
No, would probably be don't expect too much. Don't go into it thinking that you're going to be the next big thing. Because there's thousands upon millions upon so many people doing the same thing. The one thing I will say is be yourself. Be yourself. Try not to think about it too much. Try not to worry about things, because one common theme that's come up through, we know a lot of people who are in the same sort of circle, especially in the Nightbreed Discord and stuff. Mental health is a big thing. Being able to deal with the not rejection, but the different stages of streaming. You need I'm gonna say it in my way. You got to have a bit of gravy. Different. You got to have that sort of mental stability to be able to deal with. Sometimes things aren't gonna go your way. Sometimes you're gonna have 6 people or maybe 2 people watching you, or some people are not going to come to your stream, or people are going to unfollow you. And the sooner you become to that realization, the better off mentally you'll be.
Agreed. 100%.
And the better off you're going to be with your content, because I've had streams where say things aren't going my way. I'm used to having so many people, right? So you don't want to get used to a number either. Don't get used to having a number. Don't ever set yourself, because if you do that, then that's when you start. It will have a negative effect on you and your stream. So one time I've had I've go from a stream where I've got like 20 to 30 people watching me, and then one time I'll go to a stream and there's like 10. And in my head I'm thinking, what have I done wrong? Why is no one watching me? And then that's when people will notice that my mood goes from, like here to here. The one thing I've learned is that 10 people that are there for you. So always put in the same amount of effort
100%.
as you would for 30 people, for the 10 people. People will come. As long as you're yourself, people will come to your streams. Some of my favorite streams I've had, I've been less viewers but more intimate.
Totally.
I'm very about getting to know people. I try and talk to every single person that comes into my chat, even when
Definitely.
it's really busy. I'm always talking.
Yeah.
Always trying to get to know people. But yeah, it's not easy. Twitch is not an easy. It's not an easy, and I'm still learning. 5, 6 months down the line, I'm still learning things, and I'm
Definitely.
still
Yeah.
not in. I'm dealing with things, but there's still things that chip away at me and affect me sometimes on streams. But I'm learning, and we're all what's all we can all do, you know.
Yeah.
You're probably one of the best. Like you never change. When you stream, you're always yourself, and that I always take like watching you and stuff, and I always take that and I go, well, that's how I need to be, you know. Like always, there's a professionalism with you. You know what I mean? You're always doing. Doesn't matter how many viewers you have or whatever. You're just Johnny, you know.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn to do that. I've had to learn to adapt. So that's just the way I am. I've always been like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. No, I mean,
yeah.
and I can't remember who said it, but I saw someone say, like, about lurkers, right? Because again, you might have 10 viewers, and you might even only be talking to one person, and you got 9
Yeah.
lurkers, right? But those 9
Yeah.
lurkers, they're probably still watching you, but maybe they've got anxiety, maybe they've got
Yeah. Hmm.
they're worried about how you're gonna be,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and they just want to watch
Mm.
you, and
Yeah.
the power of lurkers is really powerful, to be honest with you, as well.
Yeah.
And I've read stories about streamers kind of going, oh, I had a bad stream and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes they kind of just don't bother with streaming anymore, and then you find
Yeah.
out they might have been messaged by people saying, I might have been lurking, but I missed your content, and
Yeah.
there's that side of it. Those people, they're really important, even though they might not be
Well.
engaging with you.
Yeah.
It's
Honestly. Yeah. 100%. Like without lurkers, would you even be where you are today?
mm,
Like they're almost as important as the viewers that come and talk and chat, you
yeah.
know. And the same as mods. Mods are the
Oh yeah.
people the closest people to me in that sense are like Mrs. Booth, right? You know Mrs. Booth.
Yeah.
Like we speak to each other every day. um Without, and your sister, Clary, like if I feel an instant connection with people,
Mm,
it means something to me, you know.
definitely.
So
Yeah.
I don't I repay as best as I can, you know. So I will, like, my way was mods. So if these people really, you know, I care about them, they care about me,
Yeah.
and I try and make it like I try and make everything I do like a family unit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even if it's like, the pond is growing a lot bigger now, right? So the night breed it's growing massively.
Yeah.
My channel is growing as well, but the pond always stays the same,
Mm,
but it just fills up with more fish.
yeah. Yeah.
And everybody is always the same.
Mm,
Everybody's treated the same. No one is different in any way, shape, or form. And I say this about streamers as well, like, regardless of numbers or what you're doing and how well you're doing, everybody in my eyes is still the same.
yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
I don't think that I am better than anybody.
Mm,
And I don't think that people should be that way.
oh, 100%.
It's, I don't mind a bit of competition and stuff like that. That's fine. But if you're going to do that, you're not going to be very happy.
Mm,
And you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it because you want to make someone else feel like rubbish. Nah,
yeah.
man.
Definitely.
It's about family. It's about family. It's about having a family unit and sort of like growing as a unit and becoming better streamers ourselves.
Yeah.
And I love. There's nothing more than I like than seeing a friend doing really well.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
If I go on, like last week, I had a lot of time. I had a week off, so I had a lot of time. If I go on Twitch and I see that, like, somebody's doing so well, the numbers are really high, they must be having a brilliant stream, I go and say hello, and they are. Man, I'm happy. My heart's full, because that's what it's about.
Definitely.
It shouldn't be about. Everyone has the goals, and everyone has their own thing they want to do, but it's so good to see people grow. It's so
Absolutely.
nice, and everybody deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that do certain things that shouldn't be done, and and they're growing and they grow massive and they do this and stuff, but they're not people that they're in their chat are watching them, but not there for the right reason. And that's a whole completely different situation. But yeah, I'm with you in that sense that no, it's about family. It should be about family,
100%.
So,
just one final question, and you mentioned it a couple of times. Let's talk about the Nightbreed Collective then. So, how did that come about? Was it, you're one of the people that founded that, really, if I'm not mistaken, aren't you?
Yeah, so it was my idea, and I'm not going to sit here and go, oh yeah, it was me, it was all me, but it was. I was in a stream team. I won't go too much into that, but they got me really far. They helped me out, it was a good experience to be in a stream team, and I met some of the most amazing people in it. But I wanted to start something with Brutal Sue. So we come together. I said to Sue when I first met Sue, not when I first met her, but we were speaking for a couple of weeks, and I said to her, we should start a Discord just for people that we know to come together and really, just open everybody up a little bit. Come on, like we're not going to get anywhere unless we speak to each other and stuff, and that's what we did. We wanted to do it without the whole follow for follow shit, it was all going to be above board. If you want to get to know these people, meet new people, this is what it's all about. And that's what we did. We created a Discord, and it's blown up. I would say it's blown up. I mean, we're nearly at it's been about 3-4 weeks. We're at 200 members. But everybody is getting to know everybody and stuff. So that's what I want. I put together a mod team that are dedicated to it as well, which is good. And then now we've put together a stream team. It's not official, but it's a stream team.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, and a lot of people have been jumping into other people's streams.
Yeah.
And because everyone open their eyes and get to know all these different streamers, because everyone is so bloody good, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
It's that everyone has their own little thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I had all the money, I'd be subbing to everybody, because literally everyone is so good.
Yeah. There's some brilliant streamers in there.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
No,
and that's why.
Hopefully, we can get that official stream team at some point.
Well, yeah. I mean that's the plan, but obviously I want it to be done the right way.
Yeah.
Whether it's me, whether it's someone else that makes partner first, or anyone, I don't know if it even is a possibility, but if it can be done, it would be amazing to get it official, because I feel like it would be, even if it's not official, in my eyes it's official.
Yeah.
Because we work our ass off. We all share and stuff, and share the link and get people in and stuff, and that's all you can ask.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Brilliant, mate. That's a wrap, my dude.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
Well, let's say our goodbyes, but I mean that's excellent. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Beelzy29, aka Charlie, everyone. Please give him a follow. He is an amazing streamer. His content and his streams are absolute hoot. They're so much fun. If you like horror, if you like craziness, then there's no one that combine those two together, in my opinion, than Beelzy. And I'm not just saying that. He's so good at what he does. So please give him a follow. All the socials are on the left hand side. So give him a follow. But that's it, guys. Right, let's call it a wrap. But that's episode 3 done. I'll see you for the next one. Take care, everyone. Say bye, Beelzy. Bye bye.
See you later. Nice to meet you.
Take care, everyone. Bye.